So I have a program that my dad gave me back in 2020, and that's what kind of got me through high school. But in like my junior and senior year, I started to branch out a little bit more and find workouts that are more tailored to me, because the ones that he gave me were more of strength focused. But now I don't necessarily have anything that I have to be strong for anymore. So I'm mostly just using the programs that he gave me, and now I'm tailoring them down to what I can use for myself to better myself for bigger muscles and for more of hypertrophy. So with this program that I've created for myself, I have a few favorite exercises for each muscle group. Like my chest is going to be bench press, my shoulders are other like incline bench, for example. But these are all some of my favorites and what I have figured out work for me the best. So whatever works for me might not work for you, and that's just how weightlifting is. So this is bench press. This is one of my favorite exercises for chest. It involves the lower, middle, and upper part of your chest and parts of your shoulders and triceps. So this is part of the big three that I like to say that you'll know this in powerlifting. You got deadlift, bench, and squat. So this is part of the big three, and this is what you mostly use to get stronger. But for me, if you do like a medium weight like this, then you do more reps, then you'll tear the muscle fibers and you'll end up getting stronger, and you'll have bigger muscles at the end of it. So this is bench press, and I'll demonstrate. So moving on after chest, we're moving on to shoulders. So now there are three main heads of the shoulders. You got the front delt, the side delt, and the rear delt. So there are two main exercises that I like to do. It is the military press, or the shoulder press, and you got the side raise, or the lateral raise. So we're gonna start out with the shoulder press, or known as the military press. So I put it in a 90-degree angle as opposed to it being flat down like this when we're doing the bench press. So I put it at the 90-degree angle, so that way my back is flat to here and I can have as much range of motion, and I can push my elbows as far back as possible, so that way I can push the weight up and not out, because that hits a different part of the muscle. So the next exercise is going to be the lateral raise. So this works the side delt. So as you saw before, the shoulder press works most of the shoulder, if not all of the shoulder, but the side raise works the side delt mostly. So moving on to the back, now we have the pull-ups, which is my favorite exercise. This gets pretty much all of the back. It gets mostly the lats, the rear delts, the traps, the middle back, your lower back, and those muscles. So basically you just grab the bar at around shoulder width apart, a little bit further, depending on what you're comfortable with, depending on your range of motion ability. But I like to go just outside shoulder width apart, and then you just pull yourself up, get a good squeeze at the top, chin over the bar, and then go back down. So after the back, just making our way around, now we're moving on to the biceps. The biceps is like the hamstring of the arm, because if you think about the functionality of the leg and the arm, it's basically like the hamstring of the arm. So you start out, and I like to do curls with this. You start out down here, bring it up, and then bring it back down. Pretty self-explanatory. So opposite of the bicep, we have the tricep. The tricep is basically like the quad of the leg. If you think about the similarities and differences, you push it out and you come back in. So for this exercise, I like to do the tricep press down, or the neutral grip tricep press down. So due to my lack of equipment here in my home gym, I am electing to use the band instead of the cable, but it's basically the same movement. down from upper body, now we're going to go down to the lower body. So in the lower body, you've got the quads, the glutes, the hamstrings, and the calves. So the number one thing you really have to focus on with the squat is form. Form is key, especially with all of these exercises, because if you don't have good form, you won't work the muscles right, and you will end up getting injured, and I guarantee that. So when you get up underneath a squat, you always make sure you have a spotter, same as with the bench, and you have, unlike here, because this is my home gym, you have a guard or extra spotters. So when I get up under here, I put the middle of my neck right in the middle of here, because if you think about physics, if you go on one side, it'll tip, and vice versa. And then I like to go just about shoulder width apart, just on the outside, and then my legs are more shoulder width apart, and then my toes kicked a little bit out to work more quads and hamstrings. So after working the quads, the glutes, and the hamstrings with the squats, you can always supplement with quad extensions and hamstring curls. But my favorite calf exercise is the calf raises. So there are three main heads that you need to work when you're working in the calves. And the best three ways to do that is have your neutral stance, you have your toes pointed in, which works the outside, and your toes pointed out, which works the inside. So those are the 7 major exercises that I like to do throughout my week, because you always need to have a rest period in between all your workout sessions. Those are the 7 major exercises that I like to do to grow my muscles the best and get as strong as possible. So while weight training is super fun and I really enjoy doing it, cardio is also extremely important, whether that be on the treadmill and you just walk like a mile a day, or you go on the Stairmaster and you do a couple minutes a day as well. Always remembering to get your cardio in will help pull your body all together, and you will create a well-rounded figure. So in the almost coming up on 3 years that I've been working out consistently, I have made a bunch of mistakes when it comes to working out, which has led me to growth and to grow into who I am as a bodybuilder or a powerlifter. I've competed in powerlifting before. I want to compete in bodybuilding in someday in the future, but it all starts from day one, when as soon as you want to jump into the gym, it's always going to be there ready for you. So over the last 3 years, my growth has come from consistency and my dedication to learn and to better myself in the gym.